Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, double honors to our elders and apostles of great millstone that taught us his truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful like Akim, teaching and preaching his truth with all righteousness and sincerity. As always, the sit downs, the lessons, the street speaking is for the remnant, the elect, the Israel of the Most High, and to you is the gospel preached. All right, so today's lesson is entitled, The Great Day of the Lord is Near. It is near. So I have this article up here from trainingindustry.com. I'll go ahead and put it in the chat because obviously we can't read it in its entirety just because of the algorithms that Esau has on YouTube. You know, certain buzzwords that the algorithms pick up, and it causes our channels to get flagged and even terminated in some cases. So I'll go ahead and put it in the chat. And you see the title there, the MC hipping employees, a rising trend in the future of work, and it's presented as a question. Now we know concerning the prophecies that this is what Esau wants to do. All right, this fourth industrial revolution, merging man with technology and putting technology in man. All right, that is what the global elites plan on doing. All right. And we've done many lessons going into Revelation 13, Revelation 14, Revelation 15, 16, Revelation 20. All right. And all those chapters go into the MOTB. All right. So it's there. All right. And, you know, the whole song and dance, you know, the grain of rice and yada, yada, yada. And, you know, so on and so forth. So let's see if we can read maybe something. Some of it, and I advise bros to look at the screen because some of these words we can't even say. It says some organizations have started giving employees the option to be C-hipped, including Three Square Market, which I want to say 2017 or 2018. All right, this particular company, they made headline news as far as, you know, having, you know, their employees with the option of getting this technology in them, and they was buying Snicker bars and cup of noodles and shit out of a damn vending machine, you know. And it was in Wisconsin, a Wisconsin-based technology company that made national headlines after MC hipping nearly 100 employees in 2017. Slakia, I jumped the gun. All right, so it's already happening. All right, and then actually, let's read down here. It says Biotech, a Swedish firm that implants MC hips into both individuals and other organizations. Employees fitted 150 MC hips in the UK as of 2018. All right, so, you know, people was getting it. All right, it's over here in Babylon the Great. It's over there in Sweden. It's over in different, you know, countries throughout the world. All right, it's going to come a time in the very near future that is going to be made mandatory. That's going to be the standard of making your purchases, making your transactions, being a part of this economy. All right, and worshiping this system, which ultimately you worshiping Esau. Okay, you letting Esau go into you with this particular technology. All right, and those individuals who will receive it will get destroyed. So we'll touch bases on that. First, we want to start here in Second Esdras, the 9th chapter, in the Apocrypha here, which the Apocrypha is a part of the Bible. Second Esdras 9:1, it says, he answered me then and said, and this is a conversation that Esdras is having with one of the archangels whose name was Uriel, and Uriel was sent unto him to give him these prophecies. Okay. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And this is a characteristic that the watchmen or the prophets of the Lord will have. They will be measuring thou the time diligently in itself. And when you measuring something, you're judging it. You pour some substance in the measuring cup, you're judging how much of that substance is in there. So we're applying that same attribute to what we see in the world. We seeing what's going on, and we lining it up with what is written here in the scripts. And Lord willing, I'll show you an example of that in this lesson. It says, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And it says diligently here, diligently meaning consistent. This is something that, we're constantly doing. And as a watchman, you constantly on your watch. You looking for certain threats so you can blow the trumpet to warn the people that's in the city to get ready for whatever problem that should happen. Or even if there's, someone coming to meet the king, or if there's, a high holy day or new moon, or Sabbath, certain sounds of the alarm trumpet will blow to let the people that's in the city, know what time it is. So we're doing that with these prophecies. We're seeing different things that's happening. We line it up with the precepts, and then we go and make these lessons through the Spirit, the Harakak Wadash. Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. So there's going to be things that will be shown unto us. We're going to be looking at these different articles. We're going to be watching alternative media. We're going to be watching global news. We're going to be into the geopolitics. We're going to be watching and seeing the different things that's happening in a global scale. All right. We're not limited to local news. We're not limited to just the things that we see in our neighborhood. We're watching things all throughout the world. It says, then shalt thou well understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people of the world. All right, and there was just another 6.4 earthquake that happened in Turkey. They're saying the death count now is at 8 last time I checked. But the point is, you got these earthquakes happening and great judgment. The one prior to the 6.4, which I want to say was like an 7.8, somewhere along those lines. They said it was 50,000 people that got put down. So the Most High is turning up the heat and uproars of the people of the world. And with this ongoing war in Ukraine, the Biden administration just approved another, 500 million, aid for the Ukrainians fighting with the Russians. All that's doing is, weakening the dollar and strengthening the inflation. So that's going to cause people to attitudes to change. It's going to lead to uproars, especially when there's food shortages, it's famine, goods and services is being limited, shelves is becoming empty, jobs is becoming few. Scriptures speak about how the grinding shall cease. Lord willing, I'll do a lesson on that next. It says, then shalt thou well understand. So the spirit that will be in the elect is understanding well the times and season that they're in. That the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, because the things that we see is prophesied in the scripts. Now, going back to the title, the great day of the Lord is near. And how do we know the great day of the Lord is near? All right. Which the title comes from a precept here in Zephaniah 1 and 14. I'll go ahead and read into this chapter, and then I'll further expound on the question that's posed. It says here in Zephaniah 1 and 14, the great day of Yahweh is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Things is going to speed up. All right. Even the voice of the day of the Lord was the voice of the Lord is the prophets. Hosea 12 and 10. I have spoken by the prophets. I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. So the voice of the Lord, or the mouthpiece of the Lord, is the prophets. All right. The prophets is going to be a major tool that the Lord is using here in these end times to get these messages out. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly, because the technology that the Lord Yahweh Shai is coming with on these aircrafts of the Lord, all right, it's going to trump all the technology that Esau have. All right. It says that day is a day of wrath and day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation. And when you read in Isaiah 54 and 16, it speaks about how the Lord created the waster to destroy. So these ICBM missiles, this technology, this war technology, these war weapons that these nations have, starting with Esau, they're going to be used to bring destruction in Babylon the Great. So it's going to be a day of wasteness and desolation when the day of the Lord comes. A day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. And when those missiles hit, it will produce what they call a mushroom cloud or mushroom clouds and they will lift up into the heavens, and it will block out the sun, the moon, and the stars to cause that darkness. A trumpet, a day of trumpet, and against Salaki, and a day of trumpet, an alarm against the fenced cities in the high tower. And we're blowing that trumpet of prophecy against the fenced cities, against the high towers. America is this high and exalted place that ruleth over the kingdoms of the earth. And all these other kingdoms, they follow after the pattern that America has left. All right. So we're blowing that trumpet. We're sounding the alarm. Going back to what we spoke about as far as the watchman. It says, I will bring distress upon men. So the Lord is going to bring the pressure to the inhabitants of the earth, that they shall walk like blind men, because when the Lord bring this pressure, Jacob's trouble, all these various said perils that we constantly go into, these people that are outside the truth, they're going to be blind. They're not going to know what the hell is going on or what to do to enable some type of safety. All right. The Lord is going to, visit these people on all sides. We go into Amos 5, where it speaks about as when a bear left and a snake bit him and a lion met him. The Lord isn't going to make an escape or have an escape for these people. They ain't going to know what to do. And then they're going to go down to Egypt for help, and they're going to get destroyed. Continuing on in Zephaniah 1:17, because they have sinned against Yahweh. All right, and these are speaking about the unrepentant sinners, because even us in the truth, we all are sinners. We all have sinned and came short of the glory of the Most High. But the difference between us and them, Lord willing, we endure to the end. We're repentant sinners. All right, and we have a covering of our Lord Yahweh Shai. All right, it says, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as a dung. So it's going to be a lot of dead bodies plopped all over the place. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. So America isn't going to be able to make these different peace treaties, these different alliances, buying themselves out of this destruction. All right. It's going to be a cold spirit on these Russians and the members of NATO and the EU to shoot missiles upon America. But the whole land, this is talking about America, Babylon the Great, shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of them that dwell upon the land. When you read in Revelation 18, it speaks about in 1 hour was that great city judged, roughly paraphrasing. It's going to be judged by fire. Now, going back to the title, the great day of the Lord, it is near, it is near. And shalom to the beloved brother Dawadah on the comment board, shalom. The great day of the Lord is near, it is near. How do we know that it is near? We started off with this article going into the MC hipping employees. Now, when you go to Revelation 14, people getting MC hipped is synonymous with the Lord Yahweh Shai coming. So that's how we know that the day of the Lord is near, because of this technology. All right. This technology, when you read this article, people was already getting it. Companies in Babylon the Great, Wisconsin is getting it. All right. They said over 100 employees in 2017. There you go right there. And then they talking about in Sweden, over 150 employees at a company called Biotech has gotten it in 2018. So it's happening. We're just waiting for something major to happen in the economy, in these global markets, that will segue to the CBDC, which that's an acronym for Central Banking Digital Currency. And then that will segue to the implantable technology. All right. Now, here in Revelation 14, all right, there's a, through the Spirit, there's an angel working on the minds of the men of the Lord to preach this everlasting gospel. And a part of this gospel, I'll actually go ahead and read into it. How we doing on time? 15 minutes in. I actually read into it. Revelation 14:6, and it's entitled Vision of the Angel with the Gospel. And the gospel is what we have out there on the highways and the byways, starting with our elders and apostles of great millstone. And it says here in the 6th verse, and I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell upon the earth. Now, going back to what we mentioned earlier about the voice of the Lord, the prophets are the individuals that have the mouthpiece to bring out this everlasting gospel. And the Lord works on the mind of the men of the Lord by way of the angels. So once again, having an everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell upon the earth, the Lord opens our mind up and receive this wisdom, and we go and we proclaim it on the housetops. We go out there on the highways and the byways. We go into the marketplaces. We go into the agoras. We go into places where it's a lot of foot traffic to bring out the counsel of the Lord, which is the prophecies, and to every nation, because Israelites are scattered all over, and we bring the judgment that's going to befall these nations as well, and kindreds and tongues and people, saying with a loud voice, we out there lifting our voice like a trumpet, fear the Most High and give glory unto him. And this is the message that we coming with when we out there teaching. We're pushing the vibration of fearing the Most High, which is the beginning of knowledge and wisdom. Give glory to him, for the hour of judgment is come. We're talking about the day of the Lord. We read it in Zephaniah, the 1st chapter. We speak about the hour of his judgment is coming. And worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of waters. Our Lord Yahushua. Yahushua, he's the creator. When you read the creation story in Genesis, the 1st chapter, it's talking about Yahushua and the angels creating everything that we see today. And as it says here briefly, worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of the waters. So we push the vibration of fearing the Heavenly Father, which his name is Yahweh, and worshiping Yahushua who made heavens and earth. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she had made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. So another part of this gospel that we bring out outside of pushing the fear of the Lord and the worshiping of Yahushua and speaking about the hour of judgment, we talk about how Babylon is fallen, that great city. All right. For you newly tuning in, Akim, that's standing on the fence, you know, this is the blueprint of what the gospel will be spoken of. It will be talking about this. If they're not talking about Babylon getting destroyed, all right, how Babylon, as it says here, have made all nations drink of the wine of her fornication, which is this Western culture from, you know, the Senate, the worshiping the political spectrum, the Congress, legislation, the judicial system, all right, this liberty and justice for all vibration, this equality vibration, all right, letting all these people, these perverse sexual lifestyles have liberty. You know, that fornication, that wine, America enables all these other countries, forces these other countries to get down with it. And if they don't, they bring destruction upon them. So that's the conversation that we're going to be having. Now, here's the point, and it's entitled Doom for the Worshippers of the Beast. Now, the beast isn't a picture. It's a kingdom ruled by Edomites, right? Worshippers of the beast. And worship means to have respect, have reverence, pay homage, be had in admiration, approval, appreciation. Those are words that define worship. You know, having love. So it says doom. Let's add some different words here for the word worship. Doom for those who love this kingdom. That's basically what it's saying. Doom or destruction for those that respect Esau's rulership. That's what it's saying. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast, all right, like I said, the word worship, it goes into reverence, respect, paying homage, approval, love, appreciation. You know, even Apostle John, he said in 1 John 2:15, love not the world. Why? Because if you love the world, you'll be worshiping the world. You'll have great respect for this place. And meanwhile, this place is going to be pushing out abominations. If any man worship, and it's man or woman, if any man or woman worship the beast in his image goes into the likeness. This kingdom mirrors the ancient Roman Empire. And I list some examples through the Spirit going into the political structure. Even the architecture here, you got the Latin language, you have high immigration, all these different things that were happening in the ancient Roman Empire. You know? So this kingdom is the image, or it's the likeness of the Roman Empire. And receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. So receiving this particular technology, and you would do so because you worship this system, you respect this system, you respect Esau, you respect this kingdom. All right. Here's a point in the 10th verse. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High. So these people who receive this technology in them, they're going to drink of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into a cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So to answer the question, how do we know the great day of the Lord is near? Because of this technology is here. All right. MC Hippin employees. Lord willing, you are edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom, Akim. Stay strong.